Hey guys, what's up? It's me, the Meteor Raptor, and... hang on. Oh, this back scratcher is the best $4 I ever spent. And I'm back with another episode of the Meteor Raptor Reaction and Reviews. So I've been looking around on my YouTube channel, and I noticed a lot of my reaction videos tend to get a lot more views. So I thought, hey, why not do a reaction video? So I'm actually going to give a quick shout out here to four of my friends, Jackson, Caulder, Kevyn, and Thomas. Because today I asked them, well, I was at school the other day, at high school, and I asked them, guys, what's the worst movie you have ever seen? All of them said what tonight's film is, which is a 2014 horror movie, and it's called Occulus. So I asked them, what is Occulus? Because I know it's sort of part of your eye, I believe. But I asked them to give me like the shortest explanation they could. And they gave me two words. Killer mirror. Why did I agree to do this? You guys, I have seen literally so many horror movies, it's almost impossible to count. I have seen horror movies with killer bats, with killer bees, with killer chipmunks, with killer turkeys, with killer Santas, with killer snowmen, with killer toilets, with killer living piles of feces, killer dolls, killer toys, killer dogs, killer cats, killer pets. Pretty much everything. I've even seen a movie with a bed that killed people. I've seen a movie with a tire that killed people. You wanna know what the sad thing is? A killer mirror, I think, sounds kind of stupid. I know nothing about this. The only other thing I know about it is I was watching Nostalgia Critic not too long ago, and I was watching a top 10 new Halloween classics, a top 10 list that Doug made. And he listed this on there, and he didn't say a whole lot, but he said it was scary, he said it was a very interesting story, and he was saying it was a really good movie. So, usually I think he's got some good taste in movies, but sometimes I don't always see eye to eye with him. So I'm not totally sure. And looking on the cover here, it just says the producer of Paranormal Activity and Insidious. So I'm going to be honest with you, I loved Insidious, I hated Paranormal Activity. Or at least the first one. The second one was pretty good, number 3 was okay, and then after that I haven't seen many of them. I should probably just do like a Paranormal Activity Tuesday or something. And like for a whole month, just like every Tuesday and Thursday review Paranormal Activity films. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. And if I get enough likes or enough comments asking me to, hey, I'll do it. But anyhow, I don't even know who this thing was directed by. I don't know who stars in it. Oh, WWE Studios. Well, that's certainly disheartening. You want to know why? I've seen one other film from WWE Studios, and that was the awful reboot Leprechaun Origins, and that movie sucked. But you know what, guys, I'm really interested to see where this movie goes. So the only way we're gonna find out is if you guys shut up, you guys watching there shut up, and I'll shut up and I'll watch this movie. So then when I've shut up, you guys can shut up and pay attention to what I'm saying after I said I would shut up, even though I didn't shut up because I broke what I said when I was saying I was gonna shut up by talking right now. Even though technically I should be silent and starting the movie, I'm still continuing to talk instead of shutting up. So you know what? How about we just all agree we're gonna watch this movie, I'll give you my thoughts after, and then we all shut up. And hey, if this movie kind of sucks partway through when I get bored, I have book 1 of Dark Knight 3, The Master Race. I can always read that. So guys, without further ado, it's time to kick back, relax, and check out Occulus. This movie sounds so stupid. Alright guys, we're like 4 minutes in. Okay, I'm gonna say 2 minutes in because the first 2 minutes were nothing but stupid company like logos. Here's what I don't get. We're 2 minutes in. I have no idea what's going on, and this whole mirror, which is so evil, they're selling at an auction. First off, from what I've heard, the main character when he was a kid, his family owned this mirror. If that's the case, why is it at the auction? Because it's clear his sister wants to buy it. I don't know. I have no idea what's going on. And so far the dialogue is pretty terrible. As well as the acting. Please tell me they're not going where I think they are. Please don't be this stupid movie. And... wow! Wow, they actually didn't do that. Huh. Alright, I need to give this movie a bit more credit, maybe that. Well, at least they didn't resort to that cliche. Although literally every single line of dialogue in the previous scene was a cliche. Oh well. Guys, I'm about to blow a hole in this movie so big it might ruin the movie, which sucks because this movie is actually getting pretty interesting. Now, if this movie is correct, this mirror has killed 45 people. Okay, I'm willing to believe that. If that's true, why would one woman who is 23 years old bring it into her own house and then try and study it? And also, here's my other question. If this is truly what's going on, why haven't they tried to destroy this mirror before? Okay, guys, this movie has started out from having a painfully slow beginning to becoming an awesome psychological thriller. Only problem is, I get the feeling watching it more than once, you'll probably lose a lot of the value. But you know what? I'm just enjoying it while I watch it. Alright, Dino Dude, so the movie's been picking up, actually. I'm pretty interested to see where this goes. Only problem is, I don't have much idea what's going on. There's some weird paranormal stuff going on, and this mirror may or may not have a mind of its own. Apparently, something happened 11 years ago. Okay, guys, I really hate just hitting on this movie's reasoning and logic. I really do, because I think the movie's really entertaining right now. I'm really interested to see where it's going. Oh. Well, I'm not gonna spoil what I think might happen. But it might be awesome, because I hate this character. Anyhow. Darn it. Okay, so anyhow, the kids just saw their dad is going crazy, and they don't think there's anything they can do. Just call the cops. Alright? Why is it so hard for people in these kinds of films just to call the police? What just happened? I have no idea what just happened. I think maybe they killed someone. Is this movie ever gonna take the time to explain to me, or the viewers, what's going on? Because the way I see it, this movie could either be a massive letdown, or it could have one of the most awesome payoffs in a horror movie ever. And this whole scene is leading into a jump scare. I am calling it now. This dude they just killed, he's gonna... At some point, well, they just kind of walk away, but at some point, he's gonna be back. But I really, really hope they would take the time already to explain what's going on, because they keep having flashbacks, they keep having little hints about what's going on and the secrets of this mirror. You know, I just want to see what's going to happen, but... Well, guys, that was Occulus, and, well, I called it. That ending sucked. Man. I don't know how to explain this, guys. You know, I had heard bad things about this, and I also had heard that it was a really good movie. it was pretty bad. See, I'm just going to break this down bit by bit, like writing, acting, effects, and so on, and hopefully you guys can understand why this was kind of a disappointing film. So the writing is the movie's strongest suit, but also is where it shoots itself in the face. You see, the idea we had and all the paranormal ideas going on were unbelievably awesome. You see, this whole idea that this mirror essentially almost like curses you, sort of, and forces you to do things that you wouldn't do, but then it leaves no trace aside from if you're recording it, it shows you doing it without any context and people would think you did it. It's a genius idea, and I think more horror thrillers should be like this, because this is what actual horror thriller is. Now, that being said, the big thing, which if you're ever going to make a movie like Occulus, you have to explain what happens. Why the mirror does what it does. Where it came from. What its powers are. That's what was great about Insidious, is they actually explained all the supernatural stuff. They explained Dalton's dream-walking powers. They explained where the devil guy came from. They explained... sorry, Mountain Dew. They explained all of it. In this, they don't even try to explain it. There literally are just a bunch of flashbacks to, oh yeah, that one night 11 years ago when the dad kept looking at the mirror and after a while he went crazy and then chained up their mom because the mom got sick and he shot her. Like, stuff like that. And then, like, there's flashbacks which really come out of nowhere. And I think would have been better if they just kind of gave us the whole thing at the beginning, because they pretty much come out and say it, but then they waste the entire film giving you little bits of the flashback, like, look at this is so interesting! And anybody could piece together what happened. A lot of the scares are unoriginal, a lot of them are jump scares, which is something I'm really tired of. But then again, that could easily be blamed on Five Nights at Freddy's, because, you know what, I like those games a lot for their story. The gameplay themselves, gets pretty old. But still, the story is amazing. Not Oculus, Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm talking about Oculus now, though. Our characters really have no real depth or personality to them, aside from one of them was in a mental institution for 11 years, and one of them wasn't. And of course, this leads to one of them thinking everything they saw as kids. No, there was total explanation for it. Like the woman in the office was dad cheating with another woman. Like, all that stuff. Like, he tries to explain all of it. And of course, the sister's like, no, it was the mirror, it was psychological, it was supernatural, everything is going crazy. And in the end, of course, the crazy one is right. You know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and spoil this ending for you, because really, it's an interesting ending, but you kind of see it coming if you think about it. So, of course, Tim, the main character, he has this whole, nightmare flashback to when the dad killed their mom and then kind of killed himself, but at the same time made Tim kill him by pulling the trigger while Tim was holding the gun. But it seemed like the dad was able to break away from the whole curse at the last second. He's like, you know what, kill me, I deserve it. I don't know, they were very unclear on what happened. And then he goes to try and destroy the mirror with this whole kill switch they had, ironically named Kill Switch. That's what he does activate it. He kills his sister, who, by the way, was the most obnoxious character in this movie, and I'm glad died. But was also the most sane person in this movie, which is weird coming from the fact that we had a character who spent 11 years in a mental institution. So really, and of course, it then cuts back and forth from him being arrested now to him being arrested as a kid, which doesn't make a lot of sense, because I don't think kids could be arrested at age 11, but then again, I live in Canada, and I'm pretty sure we have different laws in America. And then again, this also was a horror thriller movie, and they can pretty much do whatever they want, and people will pay to see it. I paid to see a movie where people got killed over Skype, okay? Back to what I was just talking about. And it's cutting back, and as the kid version of himself is being driven away, he sees his parents. Now, as the adult version of him is being driven away, he sees his parents plus his sister. Also, there's this one character who really has nothing else to do with the movie aside from the fact that he is Caitlin's fiance, and she murders him. Or at least, I think she does. Again, the movie is really unclear, even at the end, with what happened. And it feels to me like they were trying to lay the groundwork to make like another trilogy or something, like Insidious did. See, the problem, though, like I said, though, Insidious explained things, Oculus didn't. And I cannot see myself watching this a second time. I'm kind of showing my hand here for the end part. And I don't really want to see a sequel to it because there isn't much point to a sequel. Like The Mirror 1, like that pretty much is summarizing the entire film. They don't explain anything, everything makes no sense whatsoever, and honestly, this movie could have been so much better. The characters are annoying, the characters have little to no personality, have very little backstory, we have no reason to care about them. This whole film is just completely written in horror movie cliches, both verbal cliches and action cliches, such as the family moves into a new home cliche. Family moves into a haunted house, which is also the new home cliche. Haunted thing was being sold at a public auction. Haunted piece of whatever happens to have a long backstory of killing many people. Not calling the cops only when it's too late. Just stuff like that, you know, and it's every single horror movie does it, and really, it kind of ruined the movie. Acting, I kind of showed my hand. The characters have little to no personality, and really, the actors don't try that hard. Then again, they weren't given much to work with, and there's maybe like 10-20 minutes in the middle of the movie when everything really picks up, and everything just gets really interesting, and you want to see where it goes. And then they don't want to explain anything, and that kills the whole movie. Like, literally, guys, 5 minutes of exposition would have saved the movie. Okay, it's sad when I have to say 5 minutes of exposition would have saved this whole movie, but that's all it would have taken, and we did not get that. Joy. Anyhow, so I've been kind of bouncing back and forth. So the actors don't really do that well in this movie, but to their credit, they weren't given much to work with. So you know what? If these actors showed up in other movies, I'd be more than happy to give them a second chance, because this movie, it wasn't their fault. They weren't given a whole lot to work with. Now, special effects. There's very little, actually. The little bit of makeup and the little bit of CG and a little bit of blood looks pretty good. You know, it's your standard horror movie stuff. And that's all there really is to talk about. I rarely, if ever, talk about this, but editing is something I need to talk about. Why? Because the movie, I think I said this kind of earlier, the movie has a lot of flashbacks in it, and these flashbacks tend to come out of nowhere, and you'd think they're in the same scene. There'd be one scene when the two characters are talking, all of a sudden it cuts to somebody writing something, and you think, oh, this must be another new character we're being introduced to. Nope, 11 years earlier. And only once do they ever say 11 years earlier. And the rest of the time you have to wait till either you see that the parents are alive, or the kids are little again, or at least the main characters are little again, to realize, oh yeah, it's a flashback. The only other way you can tell it's a flashback is by the light change. I'm going to jump over to lighting really quick. This whole film is lit pretty badly, actually. Like, it's trying to build an atmosphere, and it worked at first, but after a while it kind of got boring. But then again, I'm getting tired of all the horror movie lightings, sort of. Like, it's all like lit like, oh, everything has to be dark. Like, no, it doesn't. You can have you could have a horror movie, you could have a slasher movie in the middle of the day, as long as you make it work. You can have like a horror movie set at night that's still brightly lit, as long as it works. Like, you can do all this stuff, guys, and it will totally work. You just have to have the story right. You have to have the characters right. You have to have everything which this movie didn't have right. Music, there was like no music that I can remember. If there was a score, it was incredibly forgetful, because can't even remember it, guys, and the movie just ended like a few minutes ago. Audio quality, they try to do some spooky stuff, like having these voices whispering and stuff, which of course is incredibly hard to hear. So if they were trying to build up suspense with that, well, that's another place they failed. Let me just... Actually, while we're on the subject of audio, I watched the movie with subtitles. Why? Because I didn't want to have the movie ultra loud while I was filming this, and 2, it's just kind of easier because then I can pay attention to the dialogue and what they're saying. By the way, the dialogue was really stupid, really wooden, it seemed incredibly forced. That's back to acting. Let me give you guys a quick filmmaking tip. It helps with your subtitles, if they're white, to have a black outline. Not just to have them white. Because some of them have black outlines and some of them don't. And the ones that don't have black outlines, I noticed, tended to come up the most when they were focusing on something white, therefore rendering them impossible to read. I'm not joking. They did that. Jeez. You guys, I really wanted this movie to be good. And when it comes down to it, can I recommend Occulus? Not really. I give it one Raptor Claw out of 4. It was a major letdown, you guys. You know what, though? It isn't the worst horror movie I've ever seen. You guys might totally enjoy it. So you know what? If you guys think it sounds interesting, go ahead and check it out. I am glad I only rented it from the library, as I can just go and return it and not have lost any money. Because if I had bought this thing, it would have been going to the hawk shop the next chance I got. It's an okay movie and all, but there is no way I would ever keep this thing, or I'd ever want to own a copy of it. And you guys, I was really hoping that once I was done, I'd be like, yeah, I'm going to go throw it up on my Amazon wishlist. By the way, I do have an Amazon wishlist. If you want to support the channel, if you want to help, you can get a free shout out. Head on over there and see what I got. All the videos, all the things on the wishlist, if I've not already reviewed them, will be reaction videos. So if you want to have your name in the title to a reaction video, go ahead, buy something, send it on over. I'll be eternally grateful, and I will probably send you something if you have an Amazon wishlist someday. Anyhow, I can give it one Raptor Claw out of 4. I have a feeling that, some people are going to look at it and go, this is genius! And, it kind of feels like it's almost like a horror version of Inception. And don't get me wrong, I loved Inception, but it's a movie about a killer mirror. Did we have to think so hard about it? Anyhow, you guys, what's now for me? Well, I got my Magic the Gathering cards here. I'm going to go throw on some Rick and Morty, and I'm going to go laugh, and I'm just going to shuffle around my Magic cards, rearrange my decks and stuff. And you know what? Forget that. I'm just going to go to sleep. I'm just going to go throw something on, something lighthearted. I'm going to go throw on some Get Smart or some Gilligan's Island or Rick and Morty. I'm probably just going to throw on Rick and Morty. It's what I always throw on when I'm bored. And I'm just going to go rest, go relax, and go to sleep. So you know what, guys? I'm starting to get a bit of a headache trying to process everything about this movie. Because this movie leaves you with so many theories like, could this be how it works? 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 And it doesn't bother to say, this might be the right way. It just goes, nah, screw you, we're not telling you anything. And it's really boring. So guys, with that, we come to a close of another episode of the Media Raptor Reaction and Review. Once again, I'd like to say this entire idea of this series goes to Emre Prevost. He is the man who created it. I'm a huge fan of his work. Go on over, check out his channel, and support him. And until next time, guys, this is the Media Raptor saying, keep cool, and I will see you guys around. This movie sucked.